team like Kyrie and KD, or the Lake Show with King James and AD. Wish I could match him up with the bad boys from the 80s, but no black and white, I need that in HD. HenDawgz.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy HenDawgz, and we back to it. You know how we do it. Michael Jordan feared him for a reason. I don't know who this is. I think it's Mitch Richmond. Because I kind of was seeing the thumbnail, and I think that's who it was. But before we get into this video, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all like this video if y'all like this video, and go ahead and write something in the comments. Let me know what other videos y'all want me to react to. You know, it's millions of videos on YouTube, and I got a million videos to do. I'm gonna try to do every video that y'all suggest, because I'm doing this for y'all. Like, I'm doing it for me in the sense of having therapy and just being able to just, you know, be creative and, you know, talk. Like, I love to be able to have that freedom to just say how I feel. But I'm also doing it for y'all too, especially the ones that's been tapped in for a while. Like, I'm doing this for y'all to, you know, help learn different things about basketball, and, you know, just to be that fun place that whenever you bored, you know, I'm like, I might just go watch some HenDawgz videos. Like, that's what I strive to do for this channel. So I hope I'm doing that, and if not, hopefully I'll be doing that for you soon. But yeah, let's get into this video. I'm actually really curious to see what about Mitch Richmond made Michael Jordan fear him. But let's get into it, man. We got Michael Jordan feared him for a reason. Why? Let's get it.
MJ with a post up. Backs his way in.
The defense.
Turns it down, passes off.
The defense. Okay, Jordan. I love this video because every video that I normally do when it involves Jordan is how great he was, how NBA legends called him a god, how NBA legends say he was unstoppable, how NBA legends was scared of him, like all these different things. So to see this one, I love it, man. I love it. Let's get it.
Hey guys, this is Dominic Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is August Hall. NBA fan, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hello, good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at the rivalry between Mitch Richmond and Michael Jordan, and why Richmond was one of the few guys that Michael Jordan did not enjoy playing against. But before we dive into that, let me ask you guys for a small favor. If you're new to the show, please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy the content. Alright, enough said. Let's get right into it.
Shout out to Celsius too, yo.
So when we start, I would say let me take you back to the early years of Mitch Richmond's NBA career. When Mitch Richmond entered the NBA in 1988, he was no ordinary rookie. Performing on a high level right from the start, it did not take Mitch long to become one of the best shooting guards in the NBA. The combination of power, a nice touch from anywhere on the court, as well as a supreme post game made Richmond an almost unstoppable weapon. He was averaging 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists in his rookie season.
See, the only Mitch Richmond that I can really remember is number 2 for the Kings. I think he had a bald head. I'm not hip to this taper cut Golden State Warriors Mitch Richmond with number 23. Like, I'm not hip to this one. He looked like he was a bucket.
And won the Rookie of the Year trophy.
A Rookie of the Year?
In his second season, his team was joined by Tim Hardaway, who turned out to be the perfect running mate for Richmond, and Chris Mullin. Now forming the legendary Run TMC, Richmond would play for one of the most exciting teams in the NBA. And while Richmond was getting better and better, he would prove that he would not shy away from any competition. Even after Mitch got traded to the Sacramento Kings, where he not would have Chris Mullin and Tim Hardaway by his side, Richmond would take on the best shooting guards in the entire league. Guys like Clyde Drexler, Reggie Miller, and of course, Michael Jordan. And
what year did Mitch Richmond, oh, he about to bang on him, but What year did Mitch Richmond get drafted into the NBA? I always like to kind of put into perspective on when he got drafted and where other players were in their primes when he came into the league and all that. So that Golden State Warriors year when he won Rookie of the Year, what year was that? Let me know.
Talking about Michael Jordan, this is exactly what we're going to take a look at in this video. When most players would lose the game against Jordan even before the game has started, Mitch would not only show up, but give Jordan a real battle. Not only would Mitch always keep Jordan pretty busy on defense, but he also would guard Jordan every single time both players were on the court. If we take a look at some of their matchups, you will see that Richmond not only held his own against Jordan, but sometimes even played better than MJ. And yes, of course, Jordan teams would often win, but we have to remember that when Richmond was playing for the Sacramento Kings, he not exactly had the right help.
Playing him tough, giving him 23 while he gives you 33.
No, I'm talking about they would give him 30 and he didn't have the same numbers. Come on.
Really?
Yes. There's people out there. And there were players that he did not want to see.
Really?
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of guys that were afraid of Mike, but there were a few that he was afraid of too now.
Who?
Come on now.
Who else?
He did not want to see Mitch Richmond. I'm telling you that right now.
Come on, man.
Man, Mitch
Come on,
Richmond,
who's that talking right there?
He put that on my...
Who is that that's talking right there? Because Sean David, he didn't say it. He didn't say that Mitch Richmond feared, or Michael Jordan feared Mitch Richmond. This guy that's talking right here is the first person that I actually heard say it. Like Michael Jordan, like people feared Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan, he feared Mitch Richmond.
Mike, swing it around. Mike was like, nah, I don't want to mess with that.
So why did Jordan fear Mitch Richmond? Well, fear is a very big word, especially in basketball.
That's a big
but
word.
There's no denying that Richmond was a player that Jordan really respected. And one of the reasons was that Richmond was one of the few guys that Jordan could not push around. Mitch was probably the only shooting guard who was stronger than MJ. This you could easily see when MJ was trying to post up on Richmond. He really had to work hard just to get a shot off. Another thing that I figured out is that Richmond was one of the few guys who could not only guard Jordan, but also score on Jordan. He had the energy and the willpower. Now let's take a look at some highlights of their rivalry.
The top prize at each year's trading deadline is Mitch Richmond. And yet once again, Mitch is still a king. Sacramento can't seem to find the right tactics for the league's number 3 scorer and an annual All-Star.
I think this also just goes to show how great Michael Jordan was, because something that you have to realize as being Michael Jordan, there's people that's coming at you every single night. Like for an average player out there, there's gonna be people that's not even gonna really even be thinking about you. I mean, they're gonna play, but it's not like they're making sure they get a good night's rest the night before. Like that was the mindset when you're about to go play Michael Jordan. All right, I gotta make sure I get good night's sleep. I get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like people are preparing like at the utmost. You know, they're giving you the utmost respect when you're Michael Jordan, because they want to make sure that they don't get embarrassed. So because of that, they're going hard at you, and Michael Jordan is getting that every single night. And Mitch Richmond was just one of those players that had that mindset, but was actually good enough to compete with him. So it just goes to show, like, I don't want to like kind of just skate past Jordan, because this is very impressive, and Jordan's right too.
Another great game within a game. Mitch versus Michael. Bulls and Kings next.
Shot and got put right back in his face.
Jordan backing Richmond.
Tough and all that shit. He feared him, this and that. But in those box scores, Jordan still had 30. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, it's not like Mitch Richmond had 35 and Jordan had 10. It was like 30 and 30. So Jordan was still doing his thing. And as y'all see in that little post right there that they posted, he was still getting buckets on Mitch Richmond.
It's not often you see the two stars oppose each other on both ends. And that's the treat of tonight's ballgame. Mitch Richmond and Michael Jordan.
A lot of time we talk about matchups, and they never really occur.
Just gotta go at him, though.
Be on the floor at the same time. But you're right. These two guys defend each other. Look at there's Richmond with the long three. Nails it down.
Richmond cleared the screen. Could have done it up in time.
That shit look good.
Jordan on the block. Posting Richmond. Took down
starting lineup, and he makes sure that Dennis gets a nice, easy look.
Richmond for three. Ring it up. Goal.
Gotta keep an eye on him, Jordan.
Richmond, open court over Jordan. Mitch Richmond off to a good start. 8 points, 2 trades.
So now that we looked at the rivalry between Michael Jordan and Mitch Richmond, I think it would make sense to talk to the man himself. Mitch, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, Sean
Can't
David. My guy, Sean David. Hey, he's progressing, man. That's what I was saying in the last video, the top 5 duo video. He had Ice Cube on there. And now he actually got Mitch Richmond on here too. So shout out to Sean David, man. I said this in my last video, like I've been trying to figure out different ways to keep my YouTube channel growing, keep it progressing. I'm seeing Sean David do these. He got that same mindset as me. He's figuring out different ways to keep his shit going, keep it improving. And that's what I'm all about, man. So he kind of inspiring me, man, to start doing stuff like this, start bringing other people on and, you know, just making these reaction videos even better than they already is.
Man, can't complain. Now, Mitch, in this episode we were talking about your rivalry with Michael Jordan, and the first question that I have is, do you actually remember the first NBA game you had against MJ?
Yeah, I think the first game I had against him was at Golden State, the first time I played against him. Yeah, you know, it was a thrill. You know, you had to be prepared. Just like any other guy that I prepared for in any game, but Michael was definitely different to prepare for.
Do you also remember how the game ended?
I'm pretty sure I think they beat us.
No, they didn't.
Did we won that game?
Yeah, you won by 10, and you had 27 on Jordan.
Okay, that was the that was when I was with the Warriors. But
yes,
I had a lot of losses with Sacramento, so that's probably why that was.
Yeah, that was still in the Run TMC era. So I had a question. I'm a basketball coach myself, and I was wondering, was it tougher for you to guard Jordan when you were still playing with the Warriors, because you guys were playing such an up-tempo basketball, which was so energetic, but obviously also causing a lot of energy. Was it tougher for you to play Jordan in that era, or was it tougher playing for the Kings when you didn't have the right supporting cast?
I think it was both. You know, he was such a unique player that you had to really kind of gear up for, do your homework on. You know, Michael had every move in the book, and I was a guy that I really liked watching film, and so every guy I went up against, I always watched the last game that they played before we played them. I know we do that in film session, but I would take that at home and really kind of study it. And I would just kind of study what Michael likes to do and what shoulder he likes to go off and what he does a lot more than others. I mean, a lot more moves than others, but everyone has a go-to move. And so I just really tried to kind of focus on that when he had me on the post or when he tried to drive. And it helped me in a ways, but he was still a unique player that, you know, 98% of the time he still got the ball.
Yeah, very true. But I think you're being very humble just now, because I know for a fact, I mean, I prepared for the interview and being a basketball historian, and I know this kind of stuff. When you caught the ball on the block, Michael really, really, really had to use all of his energy, all of his power to contain you. And Jordan did not have to do that with many guys. So I think you are one of the few guys who made Jordan work on both sides.
Before Mitch answers that, I think I kind of figure out not why Michael Jordan feared him, because I don't think that Michael Jordan feared him, but why he was such a tough matchup for Michael Jordan and why Michael Jordan respected him so much. And they kind of already talked about it, but I think it had a lot to do with the height and weight of Mitch Richmond. He was 6'6", 6'7", 220. Like, he was pretty much the same as Jordan, if not bigger. Just as strong. Could drive to the rim, could shoot the ball. So it wasn't too many people out there that Jordan wasn't bigger than or faster than. So the fact that Mitch Richmond had all of those intangibles, it was a little tougher on Michael Jordan than usual.
Yeah, no question. I think I think I've learned that from a young age. I think the energy and the effort. I think if you put the energy and the effort and the time into it, even if you're going against the best players, if you try your hardest and play with that type of tenacity and girth. I mean, not girth, but I mean, this pause. But play with that side of tenacity. If you try your hardest and play with that type of tenacity and girth. I mean, not girth, but I mean, this pause. But play with that type of toughness. I think things will work.
What does girth mean? He changed that up real quick. I don't even know what that means, but somebody in the comments let me know what that means.
Got in your favor. So I've learned that at a young age, playing football, that you had to come with that type of energy and with Michael, man, you had to use everything. I mean, you had to make him work on the offensive end, and because he's definitely going to make you work on the defensive end. So I always tried to match that, and just like I said, it wasn't just Michael. It was every guy that I went against, but Michael was definitely a unique talent.
When did you start?
I'm happy he just kind of said that. Like, it wasn't just Michael Jordan where he all of a sudden played well. Like, this wasn't no button that Mitch Richmond turned off and on. Like, I'm about to play against Jordan tonight, so I'm about to play hard. Like, no, he took that same approach that he worked his butt off with, and it just translated well to Michael Jordan. So shout out to Mitch Richmond, man. Is he a Hall of Famer, though? Somebody write in the comments. Let me know. Is Mitch Richmond a Hall of Famer? Let me know.
To realize that Jordan really respected you, because especially for the younger folks that are watching the show, Jordan was not a guy who was openly talking good about other players. Like, he was so competitive, he would never mention another guy being great. But with you, I saw 2 different interviews where he was praising you.
Right.
So when did you realize, okay, this guy actually likes my style?
Well, I know Michael, even though when I was in my first couple years in the NBA, one of his best friends was Rod Higgins. Rod Higgins actually played on our team. And so, in the summertime, sometimes we were probably just shooting around and do a little stuff in Fresno when Rod had his camps. We would hang out a little bit. But more so, I think he understood that I was going to, definitely play him hard and not back down. And I think he felt that in every possession, even if he scored on me, I was going to be right back in his face, really trying to make it work. Because he had everything. So, and I knew that he was going to do that for me. I knew he was going to do that on the other end. And I knew that I felt confident in my scoring against him just as well as he felt against me. But I wasn't going to be afraid. I wasn't going to be scared. I was going to play my game because I put in the time and the hours of practicing all of those things. And it didn't matter if it was Michael or someone else. I put in the time and the effort in the gym to make those tough shots. And that's why I came up making tough shots. So, that was my forte.
Yeah. Now, the last question before we talk about what you're doing currently. Now, Jordan was a guy who was known to trash talk his opponents, but I always had the feeling that he wouldn't do it to everybody. Yeah. He would choose the guys carefully who he would do it to. I'm just curious, did he ever try to trash talk you? Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you always seemed to me like a guy who would never bite on the, what do you call it?
Trash talk?
Yeah.
The trap.
Right. We never trash talk to one another. I've always felt like, you look back at my career, I always had a stone face.
Yes.
I didn't really interact with too many guys, only my teammates. And so me and Mike would shake hands and we wouldn't talk after that. We just went at each other very hard. Playing very physical. I can, remember the times when I first started playing against Michael, and Michael was so quick off the dribble And one thing that helped me, that I tried to get as close as I possibly can to him, so I can put my body on him, to kind of wear him down a little bit. And then I think in the latter part of his career, he started lifting weights.
Yes.
And then he started, being on the block as much as possible. And then, he had the strength to kind of hold guys off. And so we had really tremendous battles in the post, just going at each other, just playing really physical basketball and really kind of competing. And I think he enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it too. I knew when I had to go to Chicago, I had to get my rest and be prepared and be ready to play.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, since your playing days are over, you kept yourself pretty busy with countless projects. What have you been up to recently?
Well, recently, man, I launched my digital asset company called PlanetRock.net, and I partnered with about 5 companies, and on the way of partnering with more in the digital space. And one of our projects that we're going to be starting off with is the Run TMC. We're going back in time, and we're bringing that to the forefront, and we're bringing that the new school Run TMC. So that's one of my projects that we're doing, and we're doing that in probably we're doing that with 3 or 4 different companies in different areas. So we're dealing with NFTs, memorabilia, digital twinning, a lot of other stuff, augmented reality. So it's a lot of great things that are happening that I've been really kind of busy and focusing my time and energy on. And it's really exciting. It's really exciting to see all the things that we accomplished. And now you can go back in time and turn it into a digital asset. And so that's what I'm doing. And I hope everybody like it, and just stay tuned. And you can follow me at, I think I'm on Mitch Richmond at Instagram. And you can follow me at PlanetRock.net, and check us out, man. And I really appreciate that.
All right, you guys, you heard it first. You got to check it out right now. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the...
Shout out to Sean David again, man. Like I said, that's super dope that you can talk about Mitch Richmond for 10 minutes about his duos and his battles with Michael Jordan, then bring him onto his podcast and talk to him like that. That's something that I feel like is very inspiring, and hopefully one day I'll be able to do. So appreciate y'all for watching. Go ahead and like this video if y'all liked it. Go ahead and write something in the comments too. Let me know about Mitch Richmond's career, how great y'all think of a player he was, what he did in the NBA. I feel like he probably should get more recognition, because they said Jordan respected him, so I feel like more NBA people should respect Mitch Richmond more. But I appreciate y'all like always. We out.